It was Christmas Eve, and snow fell softly outside, blanketing the world in a serene white wonderland. Inside, a little girl named Lily looked out her window, her eyes wide with amazement. "Why do we give gifts on Christmas?" she asked, her nose pressed against the cold glass, her breath fogging up the window. Lily was a very curious girl, always full of questions and wonder. Everything sparkled with a sense of wonder for her, from the twinkling lights on the Christmas tree to the glittering snow outside. She loved to ask why and how, her mind always buzzing with curiosity. Her questions filled the house with laughter and sometimes stumped even grown-up minds, making everyone think a little deeper. "That's a great question, Lily," her dad chuckled, adjusting the fairy lights on their Christmas tree, the colourful bulbs casting a warm glow. "It's a special time for sharing joy and showing people we care," he explained, his eyes twinkling with the same light as the tree. Lily tilted her head, snowflakes melting on her eyelashes as she pondered his words. "But how do we choose the perfect gifts?" she wondered aloud, her curiosity piqued. She thought about the gifts she had received in the past, each one special in its own way. She remembered the joy of unwrapping a beautifully wrapped present, the excitement of discovering what was inside. Her family always made Christmas morning magical, with everyone gathered around the tree, sharing in the joy of giving and receiving. Lily decided that the perfect gift was one that came from the heart, something that showed how much you cared. She thought about making a special card for her parents, something unique and personal. She sat down with her crayons and paper, her mind racing with ideas. She wanted to create something that would make her parents smile, something that would show them how much she loved them. As she worked, she realized that the best gifts were not about how much they cost, but about the love and thought that went into them. When she finally finished, she held up her card with pride, knowing that it was the perfect gift because it came from her heart. Outside, the snow continued to fall, wrapping the world in a blanket of peace and wonder, just like the love that filled Lily's home that Christmas Eve. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed from the chimney, reverberating through the quiet living room. The sound was so unexpected that it startled both Lily and her dad, who were sitting by the fireplace, enjoying a cozy evening. The thump was followed by a cascade of soot, showering the fireplace and sending a cloud of dust into the air. The once clean and tidy hearth was now covered in a fine layer of black soot. Lily and her dad exchanged surprised glances, their eyes wide with shock and curiosity. They had never experienced anything like this before. What could have caused such a commotion? Had they just imagined that? They both wondered if their minds were playing tricks on them. But the evidence was right there in front of them, the soot-covered fireplace and the lingering echo of the thump. As the dust began to settle, they noticed something unusual amidst the soot. A large, peculiarly wrapped package lay there, as if it had just appeared out of thin air. The package was adorned with shimmering silver paper that caught the light and sparkled brilliantly. It was tied with a scarlet ribbon that seemed to glow with an otherworldly light, making the package look even more mysterious and enchanting. Lily gasped, her heart pounding with excitement and curiosity. She had never seen anything like it before. "What's that?" she exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder and amazement. She could hardly believe what she was seeing. Carefully, her dad retrieved the package, his hands trembling slightly with anticipation. He could feel the warmth emanating from the package, and it seemed to pulse gently as if it held a tiny beating heart. "It was warm to the touch," he said, his voice filled with awe. "It's pulsing gently, almost like it's alive. I don't know what it is, but it looks magical." Lily and her dad stared at the package, their minds racing with possibilities. What could be inside? Where had it come from? And most importantly, what should they do next? The mysterious package had turned their quiet evening into an unforgettable adventure. As her dad brushed off the soot, the package began to tremble. Tiny sparkles erupted from the ribbon, dancing like fireflies in the air. Then a soft whisper, barely audible, seemed to emanate from the package. Lily swore she heard someone say, "Follow us, did you hear that?" Lily whispered, her eyes wide with amazement. Her dad, equally captivated, nodded slowly. "It seems like an adventure is calling," he said, a smile spreading across his face. The trail of sparkles danced towards the window, swirling into the shape of an arrow pointing towards the snowy world outside. Lily and her dad looked at each other, a shared sense of excitement bubbling within them. This was no ordinary Christmas Eve. "Ready for an adventure, Lily?" her dad asked, his eyes twinkling. "This is the most curious Christmas ever," Lily exclaimed, her voice filled with a mix of trepidation and thrill. Hand in hand, they stepped out into the night, following the magical trail. The trail of sparkles led them on a merry chase through snow-dusted streets, past carolers singing cheerful tunes, and finally to the edge of town. There, nestled amongst snow-laden trees, stood a whimsical cottage they'd never noticed before. Light spilled from its windows, accompanied by the sounds of hammering and joyful humming. "Where are we?" Lily whispered, her breath forming frosty clouds in the air. "I don't know," her dad whispered back, "but it feels like we've found something truly special." As they approached, the door creaked open, as if inviting them inside. Lily and her dad cautiously stepped into a room bustling with activity. Elves hammered, painted and sewed, their faces lit with joy. Toys of every imaginable shape and size lay scattered about, waiting for their final touches. "Welcome!" a jolly elf with a bell on his hat chirped, noticing their arrival. "You must be here for the grand gifting ceremony." Lily's jaw dropped. "The what?" she asked, utterly bewildered. The elf chuckled, his belly shaking like a bowlful of jelly. His laughter was infectious, filling the room with a sense of warmth and joy that only the holiday season could bring. The other elves joined in, their giggles and chortles creating a symphony of happiness. "The grand gifting ceremony," he explained, "is where we infuse every gift with love and care before they're delivered on Christmas morning. It's a tradition that has been passed down through generations of elves, each one adding their own special touch to the gifts." The workshop buzzed with activity as elves meticulously wrapped presents, ensuring each one was perfect. He handed Lily a small wooden toy soldier. The toy was intricately carved, with tiny details that made it look almost lifelike. Lily's eyes widened with wonder as she took the toy from the elf's hands, feeling the smooth wood under her fingers. "Try it," he urged. "Pour a little bit of your love into it." Lily looked up at the elf, her eyes full of curiosity and excitement. She had heard stories about the magic of the elves, but this was the first time she was experiencing it herself. Lily closed her eyes and thought about all the love she felt for her family and friends. She remembered the warm hugs from her parents, the laughter she shared with her friends, and the joy of being together during the holidays. She focused all these feelings into the toy soldier, hoping to see the magic happen. As she did, a warm feeling spread through her, and the toy soldier began to glow. The light grew brighter and brighter, filling the room with a soft golden glow. The elf smiled, knowing that Lily had discovered the true magic of sharing and love. The toy soldier was now more than just a toy. It was a symbol of the love and joy that Lily had poured into it. The next morning, Lily awoke to a mountain of presents under the Christmas tree. But more than the gifts themselves, she remembered the magic of the previous night. She realized that the true magic of Christmas wasn't in receiving, but in giving and sharing love with the people she cherished most. And as she played with her new toys, she couldn't help but smile, knowing that each one was imbued with the love and care of countless hands, making them all the more special.